aware that present government, for the first time in India, has formed a new ministry which is responsible for this particular initiative. The ministry is known as Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And this ministry has also supported NSDC, which stands for National Development Corporation for Skilling. Now, CII actually promoted 12 skill council, promoted by CII and supported by NSDC. The whole ecosystem is a little different. CII promoted in the sense of, if you take my case, I have spent about more than 35 years with CII, and I have all kinds of experience internationally, nationally, in various sectors, starting from defense, you name anything, I have it. You may call me a little, a person which believes in everything, but the circumstances were such that I was given in my career the challenges. So I used to accept challenges. Now when they asked me, when I was about to move on from CII, just last year, 30th of June, they asked me that we would like to offer you something. I said, what's that? They said, there are sector skill council, people are looking for some CEOs, and you will be asked to look at 3 particular areas where I need to choose one. So I went for this particular sector. You know why? Simple reason. In CII, as you know, is the only body in India which has got the large membership which comes from both small, medium, and large companies, and also multinational and many other players in manufacturing sector. While I was there, initial stages, the first big challenge which I took was to see that why our small and medium companies are not getting the same recognition from various quarter, and why only the large people. Because if you ask me, my belief was that without SME support, you cannot grow, particularly the large companies. So what they were lacking at that point of time, I'm talking about 77, and mid-80s, CII started working with Government of India, that why should we bring liberalization to the country, so that we progress, otherwise we'll never be what we are today. We are one of the countries which are ahead of, one of my slides will show that as far as the young entrepreneurs are concerned, we are #1 in the country. So keeping all this in view, and I started working for small companies. And I'm very proud to say, you are in Gurgaon, and the Gurgaon is known for a hub for small and medium companies which are producing components for the Indian engineering companies which are being exported to Southeast Asian countries. Because at that point of time, my role was that how do I convince them that how to produce quality. It took me 6 months to convince 16 guys, why should you go for ISO 9000? And when I convinced them, after they gone through that exercise, they became my role model. And with this role model, we created such a big pool of SMEs who really started working so hard and so methodically that today, whatever they are producing, they are really quality. And they were trained not other than, I really worked hard to bring expertise from Japan, expertise from Korea, expertise from Taiwan, expertise from some European countries of course, some of the part of UK and some from USA. And today, they are there. So when I looked at this particular sector, I saw this is also very, very noble for me. I can use my experience that what are we doing with this sector? Our domain, we go to rural India, not the urban area. We look for youngsters who are school dropouts between 5th class and the 8th class. And they are trained in a level 2, because the moment I go beyond 10, or beyond 8th class, then level 4. So we have produced about 5 job roles. The first job role is carpenter furniture, carpenter modular, fitter furniture, fitter modular, and lock technician. When I was completing 4th month of my existence, or existence of FFC, I was asked that why don't you go for interior decoration? I looked at that, but I thought it may be too early for me, because the training which we were imparting through our VTPs, which are sponsored by NSDC, they were not finding required number of youngsters who should be undergoing this kind of training. So it took me a little time, and then I thought that let us do some numbers. I'm very happy to say that in the last 10 months, we have been allotted about 28,000 numbers. We have done about fully trained, certified also, about more than 14 to 15,000. Rest are under process. Now with these few words, now I will take you through a speech which we have written for you, because there are some figures, there are so many things which if I go extempore, I will not be able to cover everything. So I will, please bear with me. I will start with the first thing is this bridging the skill gap. As far as skill gap is concerned, I'll just say that by the year 2026, 26.8% of the Indian population will be in working age bracket. The impact of employability on the overall demand-supply situation indicates that India could face a huge issue with the shortage of skilled people. That is, engineers, less than 6 lakhs, graduate, less than 39 lakhs, and vocationally trained person, less than 7 lakhs in next 5 years. Hence, a large skill gap will exist requiring skilling development. The projected demand of skilled workforce is 500 million workforce by 2022, with 150 million required in the manufacturing and service sector alone. The role of government, whether it is private, skill development training providers, or society, is imperative for imparting necessary skill to workforce. It is also essential for the industry to become a part of Skill India to make the Make in India mission reality. In India, more than 90% of country's workforce is in unorganized sector, which you all will agree with me. And only 4.69% of our workforce in India has undergone some kind of formal skill training as compared to an average of 50% across the developed countries in the world. They are generally acquire skill through informal channels, and they lack skills certification. This leads to hindrance for entering into organized sector. As far as the skill gap in the furniture fitting sector is concerned, let me say that sector currently employs 4.11 million employees and will employ more than 11.29 million employees by 2022. This implies additional creation of around 7.2 million jobs in the coming years. The period 2017 and 22 will see a higher growth in employment vis-a-vis 2013 and 2017 due to expected change in consumer preferences and penetration of organized furnishing services in Tier 1 and Tier 2 towns. As far as the bridging the gap, I have to say that in order to bridge the skill gap, the government has taken a crucial role in making skill training accessible to every individual of our country. Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, short we say MSDE, along with 21 other central ministries, have various schemes and programs targeted at reaching out to greater section of Indian population. National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, is also one of the public and private initiatives, as I just mentioned before, which is mandated to skill 150 million Indians by 2022. There are 40 skill council and more than 200 training partners with over 2,500 plus training centers of NSDC spread across 366 districts in the country. Government also promotes centers of excellences and ITIs, vocational institute, private and government institute for catalyzing vocational education and training across the country. Furniture and Fitting Skill Council is mainly an organized sector where there is a lack of formal training and certification. The time is now challenging. The carpentry is only related to wooden traditional and conventional furniture. It is much more than that. The modular furniture, the modular kitchen are the future of carpentry. You will all believe with me. to upgrade the skill as per the industry need and to create pool of workforce to meet the demand of skilled worker, Furniture and Fitting Council is working as a channel between the skilled trainees and the industry. FFC is an industry-led organization which works towards establishing an effective and efficient ecosystem for skill development in furniture and fitting industry. Working under guidelines of NSDC, FFC creates occupational standard for job roles in demand. These national occupational standard NOS are developed by taking technical expertise from industry and hence help in benchmarking the skill set required for each job roles. Now, if I can say that through the NOS, we are able to identify the course structure and needed infrastructure like machines, tools required to implement training for each job roles, which we have created. To meet the requirement of workforce of this sector, the entire ecosystem will need to scale up its training initiative and align themselves to industry recognized national occupational standard. Center of Excellences, in short we call it in Hindi, Kaushal Kendras, will be set up in every region to implement the quality of training which is expected by industry. Such a center could cater to the captive demand of corporates, enhance productivity of supply chain partners, and meet demands arising from aspirations in surrounding areas in a sustainable manner. These centers will provide seamless mobility path between job and training by linking formal and vocational education. Training of trainer programs will be conducted in such a center to develop master trainers who will ensure the quality delivery of the training. The skill development training programs in India, Indian furniture industry is mostly done in an informal way. As the skill is imparted with the help of family members, relatives, etc., as you all are aware of that. They are generally school dropouts and work in the unorganized sector. They do not have any formal certificate even if they are highly skilled. Their working experience and skill are their proof of knowledge, and whereas FFC identifies such skilled people and certified through recognition of prior learning, which is shortly known as RPL, schemes so that they can have a better advantage. The certification helps them to enter into formal organized furniture industry. An online job portal pertaining to details of skill and certified training has been initiated to provide industry with the skilled workforce in the region required. Industry support is in setting up of corporate skill center will be crucial in providing the trainees with exposure in the latest technological advancement, and such center will help in setting up the benchmarks for quality training. Skilling in country the size of India is a mammoth task, all of you will agree with me on that, and will be made possible with the scheme like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, shortly known as PMKVY, in coordination with state skill mission. All states in India are also running their own skill missions, which are also giving numbers to us to impart quality training. Now, to answer the one of the topic which we have been asked to speak, are we doing enough? Well, our finance minister, Arun Jaitley ji, announced many measures for skill development training in his budget speech 2016 and 17, including setting up of 1,500 multi-skill training institutes in India, earmarking a sum of rupees 1,700 crores and scaling up Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. He further proposed to exempt service tax on services provided by Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana and service provider. This particular scheme also did well as far as imparting training in many domains, and provided by assessing bodies impaneled by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Besides, the weighted deduction of expenditure on skill development project under Section 35 CCD of Income Tax Act will continue up to April 1, 2020. He emphasized on the education, skills, and job creation to make India a knowledge-based and productive society as one of the 9 pillars that would transform the country. Our government is giving continuous focus to skill development, and government is also improving its scheme like earlier from STAR, Skill Certification and Monetary Reward scheme to PMKY scheme, and now adding many quality measures to the version 2 of PMKY. In fact, when we were formed 8 months ago, we were the part of PMKY part 1. In effective 1st of coming month, we'll be moving towards the version PMKY 2, which will have many more addition for the help of imparting more aggressive approach towards the imparting training for particularly needy persons in the urban areas as well as in the rural area. Government is taking many measures to correct the shortcomings in previous scheme under the skill mission. Being a CEO of the Sector Skill Council, I would like to say, as a new SSC, which only 8 months old, we are trying our best to improve, learn, strategize our activities for quality contribution to the Skill India mission. Indeed, we all are facing many challenges which need to be addressed to ensure people participate in these skilling building initiatives. We found that sometimes there is a disconnect between what is taught and what is required on job, not having enough potential to give quality training in the identified areas by the training providers, and a mismatch between demand of industry and supply of trained manpower of the training providers. We are looking forward for constant support from industry to go to higher level of skilling. If the industry could employ certain percentage of certified workers and move to a 100% certified regime in a given time frame, then it will encourage more and more young people to acquire skills and will help in achieving the Skill India mission. Amendments to Apprenticeship Act made in 2014 could increase India's apprenticeship by at least 500% over the next few years and cater to 15 million apprenticeship opportunities in India. There are also other positive signs: the robust national skill development policy, several government and private initiatives, a sharpened focus on skills in union budget, industry-led forums, bilateral and multilateral dialogues, formation of NSD, SSSC, which is sector special council, etc. But there is no quick fix address to skill constraint and problem. The aim of skilling requires long-term reforms across the education and training spectrum. However, as a responsible identity, we have to frequently ask a question again, that are we doing enough? We take the pride of skilling and certifying people of our sector, but it is not where I am and my council stops. We continuously try to improve, learn, relearn, and we will be happy to receive your suggestions, feedbacks, comments on our activities. Please do visit our website www.ffsc.in. Thank you very much. And I would like to invite my panel members. And first, I will request Mr. Vikram Singh from HETIS to come on the dais. Then Mr. Rajinder Kumar, then Mr. Amit Kumar from Zimba, and Shefali Holani, EasyFX, to come on the dais. Thank you so much.